Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. It's time to go through some Datamines because we have a little bit of an update when it comes to the promotion that was talked about when it came to the Sherman and also the Japanese ship, and also what happened to the T-90, the good old T-90S for Britain, which was on the dev server and then just kind of disappeared. Also at the same time, I thought we would go through a few other things when it comes to general news and just answer a few questions I keep seeing over and over again. People keep asking me why I keep kind of putting out Object 279 videos every day, and that's basically because when the BR changes came in, basically 2 days after the BR changes, I decided just to play the Object 279 for an afternoon. So all of those videos that you're seeing over this week are all from one afternoon. So it isn't cherry-picked content, it isn't cut content, it isn't me, like, you know, trying to show how, you know, how easy it is through just, like, highlighted stuff. It is just me going around one game after another, playing with Freeman, who is another streamer, and showing how effective the vehicle is. So it isn't, like, the whole point of the series is just to show you what it's like over, like, the standard period of time, not over, like, you know, where you get cherry-picked footage, which is what you see in a lot of other places. Also, I'll put a link in the description to a video from Freeman, where he got another nuke where I was playing with him the other day when I wasn't streaming, in the 279. So, kind of nuts when it comes to the vehicle. I think he's had 4 nukes in about 2 days or 3 days, and I've had 2 or 3 with the vehicle. It's just silly, and everybody who's defending it has to defend it in very weird scenarios, you know, full up tiers where it still does very well, because a lot of vehicles are still very light when it comes to full up tiers. The only ones with real armor are actually the Soviet ones, which you don't face, and also at the same time it still has the stabilizer, it still has the good round. The only thing it lacks is the laser rangefinder, which, if you got on large maps, fair enough, that would be an issue. But as you saw from all the footage, you don't really get on those maps. They don't exist at the BR, where the 279 is. A lot of the larger maps have actually been relegated to high tier. Anyway, let's get into the datamines and see what they say. So the datamines are from, of course, Ashida, and I'll leave links in the description to them so you can have a look yourself. The first one is just straight up decals and description changes, plus event categories and text changes, so basically making them make a bit more sense. We had a bunch of little holiday events over the last little bit, and I'm sure we'll have more. You know, you have a ton of different things going on. Unfortunately, we do still have a bunch of DMM exclusive stuff, which is going on. I really don't like exclusives. I generally think it is against kind of the spirit of the online era to have exclusives. I get why they exist, to promote separate platforms and to be able to try and get different people involved in different things. It just sucks. I don't know how else to put it. I'm just really not happy with how exclusives work. And right now, there is a bunch of DMM exclusives going on. And the thing about DMM is, yeah, I mean, technically, if you're outside of Japan, you can kind of set your account up to be linked to DMM, but then you just lose access to all the international stuff, so why would you? And so you can't get access to those things. And yeah, it's just no fun. But anyway, those are mainly just text changes to clarify all of the different stuff. The first one, the second data mine is a update, and this update actually changes the STRF 9040 bill, the RBS 5680 gem. So the operators of it are actually, instead of the machine gunner and commander, which it was before, it's now the gunner and the commander. So the gunner didn't even control the ATGM previously, it was the machine gunner, which is quite funny. So if your gunner and commander got knocked out, you could still actually control the ATGM. But they have changed that, which is good. And now they added a new game functionality, which is send unlocks to user stats to linked account. So this is available for Gaijin, devs, and testers. And this should be the sync login with War Thunder Mobile. So basically, they talked about it previously if you log into War Thunder Mobile, you will also be able to log into the main game. So that's how you can actually keep your daily logins going if you want to. They said that they were going to do this. And since War Thunder Mobile has technically, I believe, been launched now, at least around the place, it means that you can get access to it. So there you go. For the M4 Sherman, the promo that we talked about, they've added 10 skins to it, which is kind of aggressive. And then the Hatsuzuki promo, they've added 3 skins to it, which is more standard for a naval vehicle. They also added names for 2 AI ships, the cargo ship and the tanker, which is fair. And then Ashida actually puts in some more kind of information about the promo collab with Hori. So it seems to be unrelated to Hori. It's just that the text Hori Flight Control Special Bonus was added alongside the vehicles and images, which made it look like it was related. And now there's a new trophy name which has been added, War Thunder Mobile Promotion Reward, and this trophy has the same ID as the images cross promo. So War Thunder Mobile just released yesterday, so it's probably going to be either a free reward for any War Thunder player to reach a certain level in War Thunder Mobile, or it may be a pack that you can buy in the store that gives you an M4 and Hatsuzuki both on War Thunder and War Thunder Mobile. So yeah, it's kind of a cross-promotion thing, kind of like what they did with Enlisted, where you had like Twitch drops for War Thunder, but they were for Enlisted, or sorry, you had Twitch drops for Enlisted and they were for War Thunder. They're probably doing a similar thing when it comes to this setup, and kind of gonna go forward with that. Overall, I think it's decent. You know, it's nice to cross-promote your products. For me, unfortunately, I can't get access to War Thunder Mobile because I just don't have a phone which is anywhere near good enough to be able to play it. I'll see if I can play it on the PC at some point, but yeah, from all of the footage I've seen and everything, it does look pretty fun. But overall, not really my cup of tea, because when I'm on the move, I listen to like podcasts, I listen to like music and stuff like that. I don't really want to game on the move. Instead, you know, the only time I really game is when I'm at my PC, when I'm at home, where I get to kind of relax. So I want to keep that sanctity where everything else is focused, of course, on work stuff. They also added new effects for all guns, bombs, rockets, and missiles. So the Soundman's back. He's come with a vengeance. So we'll have to see what comes in after that. So when it comes to the T-90, it's pretty simple. As been said, obviously last update it wasn't coming, and also said the vehicle was removed because it wasn't ready and is not coming this update. The EVGA is not a replacement, but something that is ready and coming. That's all there really is to it, which is a fair point, you know, it's kind of like the Leopard 2 in the earlier part of the year. And the thing is, or the question has to be, why was it there in the first place then if it wasn't ready to go? There's a really interesting set of ideas, right? Like, and it's always kind of bandied around, why do Gaijin do these things? And, like, if you know a product isn't ready, why are you sticking it on a server which is available to the public so everybody can see it? And there is one of two reasons, right? The first reason is because obviously it's just part of like the area of things you wanted to chuck in, wasn't checked properly, so therefore it was kind of pushed out there. The Pulkara definitely stinks of something like that. But it is kind of interesting how it keeps happening to these vehicles which are other nations' vehicles. That T-90 that we had, that was, you know, on the dev server, the other reason why you would put something else like that is for a feeler. Now, let's talk about this because I think this is quite important. Marketing or advertising doesn't necessarily have to be sponsorships, promotions, and all of this stuff. Obviously, at the end of the day, that is something which is important because, you know, you need to get your ideas out there to people who are not maybe as into the game or haven't really heard of it. That is the whole point of those angles. One of the things you also have to do when it comes to marketing is keep the people who are already playing interested in different ways, and one of them can be, of course, through the addition of new vehicles, which is why we get so many new vehicles all the time, to keep people grinding, to keep people playing, and to keep people talking about different things. If you add a vehicle to the files of something, and you know it's not going to be added, but you know people are going to make videos on it, and also people are going to discuss it, that is another talking point that people can go off, and maybe you can then slip a few other things in that they're not going to see, while focusing on the T-90 or the Leopard 2 or whatever vehicle is there. You can also do it to put it out as a feeler to try and see if you are personally interested, or the general community is interested in the idea of something like that, since it is kind of similar to a copy and paste, and also at the same time it's going to be in the British tree. So you can put it out just to be like, okay, so we're sticking this in here, and if you don't like it, let us know, and then we can look at the feedback and then work out, do we want it in there or do we not? And that is basically why, you have these kind of wonky vehicles that turn up. It is because it's very easy to advertise and promote. It's also incredibly easy to get a bunch of discussion topics on it, whether people want to see them or don't want to see them, and then you can kind of go from there. Not everything is planned, when it comes to these things. Like, there was that time where somebody put a ton of new models on the dev server. Well, my guess is by accident, since it only lasted a few hours. But stuff like this T-90 and also stuff like this Leopard 2, I'm not sure if it is as by accident as possible. I mean, it might be, and, it might just be somebody screwing up, but it just seems very odd that there seems to be the same screw-up over and over and over again, pretty much every update. So it is a way of getting your ideas out there. It is a way of basically freely advertising, using the base of content creators that you already have to, be able to look at this stuff and kind of go forward with. And that's pretty much what ended up happening with the T-90. We'll see it in the future, just like we will all of these other vehicles, because technically they've already been made, they've already been bought, they've already been paid for, so it wouldn't really make a lot of sense not adding them. You just have to work out how to add them. And in scenarios like this, where you stick them on the dev server for a little bit, people can have a play around with it and talk about it, you then garner information on how people want it to be added. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank Brendan Quinn, Vilneus, Character Fuel, Juan the Panda, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Merciless Reaper, Orangetail, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Moxie, B. Young, Bareen, Peter Grayling, Alan Hacker, Sem Alslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R., and also Lafouche for supporting the channel.